Welcome to Spotlight on the Arts. I'm your host today. My name is Michael McKeever. Joining me is our panel of South Florida theater and arts experts, starting with South Florida icon, the incredible Miss Iris Acker.
I'm an icon.
Also with us is Bill Hirschman, a respected film and theater critic. And our guest panelist today is the wonderful Sherry Uppin, who is a choreographer, a director, and a producer. Together, we are going to welcome our very special guest today, Mr. Jay Amor, who is a stunt coordinator, a stuntman, and a stunt actor. Jay, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, right out of the gate, I got to ask you, how do you become a stuntman?
Well, you become a stuntman by not wanting to be a doctor. You become a stuntman by just, I don't know, since I was a little kid, I used to climb up the trees, jump on the roof, did all kinds of crazy things, and I wanted to be either a cop, a fireman, or a stuntman. And when I found out that I could get paid for having fun, I thought, well, that's what I want to do. I want to be a stuntman. So I became a stuntman, and I started in '79 doing the stunt.
A few years ago.
Yeah.
My question is, but why? As a mother, I ask you, why? I mean, it's such a gamble. Your life, every shoot, you're on the line.
Actually, you know, I enjoy doing crazy things, but I plan them out. I figure, what's the safety? What can I do? How can I do this, but do it as safe as possible? And I did. I would jump over the fence, dive over the fence, and climb up stuff and jump off stuff and do stuff into the water. I was a springboard platform diver. Rode dirt bikes, you know.
This is before you actually became a professional doing that, you're saying?
Right. Well, during that too, you start getting a little bit more creative, putting the ramp a little bit higher and trying to get a little bit longer.
Well, along the same lines as that, how do you train? How do you make sure that you are in the right place physically and mentally to do these stunts? Is that something you start learning after the first? I mean, do you go to school to train for something like that?
Well, my schooling wasn't going to school. My school was, you know, springboard platform diving, doing clown diving, stuff like that, riding dirt bikes. Anything that's action-oriented, whether it was a gymnast or trampolines, martial arts, boxing, anything that had to do with a sport would be the best way to start, you know, training to be a stuntman. But being a stuntman, it takes a long time. You have to have a lot of patience because there's a lot of competition in this business.
Is there really? I mean, that many people want to do what you're doing.
Yeah, there's like everybody and their brother.
I can't believe it.
About that.
And you know, it's a challenging thing. People like doing extreme things, you know. But the thing about it is, anybody could do stunts. The thing is, doing the stunt for the camera. You know, that little camera needs to see something. Bring the car in here. Well, yeah, anybody could bring the car in here, bring it there, but you need to bring the car into the mark, you know. So everything's about marks, not about what you know. And
so it's about discipline and safety. It's not just simply I'm willing to take a chance. It's much more. It also talk about how you were talking about safety and this ability to hit your marks. This isn't just some jackass program where you see how stupid you can be. Talk a little bit about what it really involves when you're taking on a stunt in the way of safety and preparation.
Okay.
That's the word, preparation.
For example, yes, my motto for my company is Stunts 305, and my motto is safety first.
Good.
For the stunt people, for the crew, for the craft service person, for everybody. For example, if we're going to get ready to do a car crash, the people that don't need to be there don't need to be there, okay? Have the paramedics standing by. We know everything was going on. Everything is by the numbers. Everything is by, okay, you're gonna hit it at 45 miles an hour. You're gonna T-bone them, spin them around. And then wait for the director to yell cut. And then the guys that are gonna go in are the stunt guys first. And then if the paramedics will be there, they'll be in there. But nobody that doesn't need to get in there gets in there until we get the thumbs up from the person that's driving the cars. Let everybody know that, okay, he's fine, okay? Then we take them out as soon as possible, and then the paramedics or the firemen will come in and there's a fire, whatever. They start putting it out with their hoses, but usually the stunt guys have stunt safeties that will come in with the fire extinguishers first, making sure that the guy that's in there, we got to get him out.
Sure.
No matter what, he's got to come out.
Sure.
Whether he's upside down, sometimes it's a little bit harder because he's stuffed in another vehicle. We got to take the other vehicle apart. You got to have a lot of communication.
I have to tell you, I've never really thought this through, but it's talk about massive coordination and pre-planning that has to go into, like, you know, any stunt. Is that something that you work on as a team, or is that something that you create individually? How does that happen?
Well, it's all about the team, anyways. It's always about the team, okay? But what we would do, like if we're going to do a car crash, we, you know, depending on how serious it is, we'll put a roll cage in it. We take the gas tank out. We put a fuel cell in it. We put lap belts in, or we'll pull a full harness in, you know, 5-point harness. Wear helmets, baseballs, shin guards. Now they have the, you know, when you're doing a real radical thing, they put a Hans neck system so you don't, you know, get hurt. So we take as many precautions as we can to not get hurt, because obviously nobody wants to get hurt.
Of course.
But like the old saying, you know, it happens.
Do you rehearse? Or
Well,
is it just,
we
you
rehearse
just do it?
timing. We don't do the actual impact.
You don't do
rehearsal.
the stunt and then say, okay.
No. We do the timing. We do lead up to, you know, we lead up, okay. He's going, maybe there's somebody, a pedestrian crossing the street, you know, and then we wait for him to cross the street to be clear, it's safe, and then come in, timing. Okay, everybody gets set, we're ready to go. So everybody, you know, put you know, pictures up. Everybody get harnessed in, everybody get to be where they're supposed to be. We'll roll cameras, and once we get the green light, okay, in action, and then, you know, we do whatever needs to be done.
I have to ask, you've been doing it since '79. Have you ever gotten hurt?
Yeah, a few times. Yeah.
Broken arms, broken legs, that kind of stuff?
Yep.
What was your most dangerous stunt that you can recall?
Done a few of them. Let me see, the most dangerous stuff.
I've seen you rolling down the stairs.
Yeah, stair falls, you know, I've
I mean,
done a
just to
few
roll
of them.
down a whole flight of stairs.
Yeah, I've done a few stair falls, I've done car hits, I've done car crashes, done pipe ramps, I've done car jumps.
What about under the water? You do that
I've done some underwater stuff too, yeah.
What is the stunt on? Oh, you have to drown or something?
Or saving somebody from drowning, you know.
Yeah. Oh.
Done a couple of those things where we jump the car into the water, and then the person's in the water, she's stuck, she can't get out. So
The
I go
next
down
stunt
there,
person.
pop the window, pull her out, you know, it's like saving her life.
I'm
kind of
exhausted.
thing.
I just say, go ahead, Phil.
As a stunt coordinator,
Yes.
you have a much larger job, correct? I mean, what does a stunt coordinator do? Are you involved in pre-planning before they do principal photography? What does that job entail?
Well, the stunt coordinator is, it's a pretty, you know, it's an intense job. You got to go with all the scouts, go look at all the locations, all the meetings, talk with everybody, the prop guy, the special effects guy, the director, the ADs, and then you're in the planning process. Then you got to get the stunt guys, the stunt doubles. You get to call everybody, get everything set up, make sure you have all the safety equipment, and make sure you got all the stunt doubles, make sure everybody's on time. You got to station 12 everybody through our
What does that
union.
mean?
Station 12 means, like, say if I hire somebody to do a stunt and I get 3 names, well, those 3 names I give to the AD or to the production
The
coordinator.
assistant director.
And the assistant director, the AD. And then what they'll do is they'll call Screen Actors Guild, now it's SAG-AFTRA.
Yes.
And which I've been a proud member in good standing since 1979. And then what they'll do is they'll make sure that they're paid up members, and they're members of SAG-AFTRA. They're paid up members, and they're good, and they got all their right information, their addresses and socials and all that stuff. And then that's how they do their contracts, because everything we do is by contract.
Sure.
You know, SAG-AFTRA contract.
And I have to assume you're paid very well.
Yeah, no, I mean, we get paid very well, and the residuals, man, thank God for residuals. Because let me tell you something, you know, it's a tough
Television,
business.
DVDs. What goes to now, the
DVDs,
films are
TVs,
wonderful.
Just unbelievable.
So you've
unbelievable.
not only worked on major films, but you also worked on a lot of television series as well.
Oh yeah, done.
Could you give us just a list of some of the films and the TV
Well,
shows?
Miami Vice in the 80s, I worked on, geez, most of the episodes there. I bought my first house thanks to Paul Knuckles. Paul Knuckles was a stunt coordinator on Miami Vice back in the 80s, and I got to work quite a bit on that show. And I bought my first house. I bought it in Miami Shores. And then I did other episodic TV. I was on Sheena. I was a co-stunt coordinator of Sheena. We went to Puerto Rico and did Dream Team. We were there for 6 months. Did all kinds of crashes and fights and fire and helicopter stuff and explosions and squib hits. And,
Just fluffing it off.
yeah, and we had a blast doing it, and it was fun. You know, I enjoy this job. First of all, I thank God every day for all my blessings, because if it wouldn't be for God and for Jesus as my Lord and Savior, those are the guys that have gotten me where I'm at, because without them I wouldn't be here, you know. And
Especially without rehearsals.
well, yeah, definitely.
This has to
but,
happen and
yeah.
it has to
But
work.
there's a lot of preparation.
Oh, yeah.
One of my 75 guilty pleasures was the movie Hooper.
My favorite movie.
I was going to say, I knew. Hooper was a Burt Reynolds movie directed by Hal Needham, who started out as a stuntman and stunt coordinator.
He just passed away.
He did, and then became a full-fledged director, and he made a movie about a stuntman named Hooper. And one of the great things about it, though, was there is a stunt in which he does a car jump over a river and does a full twist.
Yeah.
And comes down on the right side. And the neat thing was it showed all the preparation people like you make for something like that that's 10 seconds of screen time, maybe. But it was
right.
days and days of very careful planning.
That was like, I think that's every stunt guy's favorite movie.
I can imagine.
The stunt coordinator of that movie is Bobby Bass. He was a very dear friend of mine, and he was kind of like my mentor, one of my mentors. And then Glenn Wilder is also one of my mentors. I love Glenn. Mushy, he's I love him dearly. He's like my father, brother, best friend. And he took me under his wing and taught me a lot and brought me with him. But Bobby Bass was a stunt coordinator at Hooper, and he was unbelievable stunt coordinator. He did a lot of stuff with rocket cars, like spinning cars and stuff. And but Hooper was like the stuntman's dream movie, you know. I mean, it was like, okay, let's go get him, and it was like car crash, it was like, there's no dialogue. Let's just go blow stuff up, And that was one of my favorite movies,
It's so interesting. I go way back with you, and I remember you. I use this word, but you were adorable. You had, not that you're not now, but I'm just saying that
just a little older.
You were on camera as well as stunts as well.
Yeah.
They used you when they could. They put you in. Just for other reasons, and so all the different languages you speak. I mean, certainly that had to be helpful as well. It got you roles.
Yeah, I speak fluent Spanish and Italian, and I've forced myself to learn how to speak Italian, working with the Italians. Because back in the
Those
day,
Italian films,
with Bud
yes.
Spencer, Terrence Hill,
Sure.
Alberto Sordi, Tomas Milian. I doubled Tomas Milian, and I did some really
Yes,
cool
I
stuff.
could see
with
where
him,
you would.
Getting, I had this really weird looking wig on that's kind of like, and it was fun, but I forced myself to learn how to speak Italian because they'd say, okay, Louis, and Louis. And I go, wait a minute, my name's not Louis. Okay? But Louis means you, and you.
Oh.
Not Louis, and Louis. No, I'm not Louis, my name's Jay. And then I started learning little words here and there because being Cuban, I speak fluent Spanish. And then I picked it up, and then I just started talking to them. Now I understood everything they said, So it was like, oh yeah, now they can't talk about me in front of me anymore because now I know what they're saying.
That's so funny. I love
And
that.
I would be saying like, hey man, they're talking about you, bro, to my buddy. What's his name? Oh man,
Now, well,
just-
some of the latest TV shows, Burn Notice, you were on. Charlie's Angels. We do have films done here occasionally.
Yeah, I worked on a few episodes of Burn Notice, and I worked on an episode of Charlie's Angels. But the last few movies that I did was Snitch with The Rock.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is a great movie. It's got a great message to kids about drugs and stuff, not accepting packages from your buddy that are wherever. And The Rock is unbelievable. That guy is such an awesome guy.
He's
He
something.
is blessed.
Yeah.
That guy, let me tell you something, he is such a great guy. What a blessing. Actually, he lives out there close to me. I haven't seen him or anything, but I've worked with him on a few shows. But on Snitch, we did a lot of big stuff, Cannon. We did, one of the guys did a cannon, the other guy did a pipe ramp that was unbelievable.
What
off
is a
the
cannon?
I just
What
want to
is a
say,
pipe
tell
ramp?
us what
What's
a
the
cannon
cannon?
is.
We're not
Okay.
sure of all this lingo.
Okay, say for example, when you're going to do a cannon in a car, what they've done is they've taken everything out of the car and they literally, physically weld a cannon in the car.
A cannon, like a cannon boom
Instead
cannon.
of the motor.
But now they have kickers that there are these hydraulic kickers that you'll be driving, you hit the button and it's a hydraulic thing. It just goes, it flips the car and it comes back into the car so you don't see it because it's so quick, which I think is pretty cool. I haven't got a chance to use one of those yet, but anyways, but then the cannon it's either filled with air or sometimes it's an explosive. When you hit the button, that thing goes.
And it just flips the car over.
flips the car over, yeah. And now a pipe ramp.
I got to tell you, I think it's wonderful that you're excited and want to do this. The rest of us are like, why?
You
no,
have
it is.
I ain't
such
driving home with you,
enthusiasm.
I love it. I
Tell
love
me
it.
when you're on I-95.
Yeah. your enthusiasm is so great.
What is the other one?
The other one is a cannon or a pipe ramp, which what you would do is have a full roll cage built in the car, okay, with a seat, and of course you're all belted in and everything. What you do is, like the one I'm going to show you, I've done a couple of them. One of them is at 55 miles an hour, and I went up like this, and I landed on the trunk, and it kind of like boom, and it spiraled and stuff. And that was a thumper because I got a concussion from that one. But it was a pretty cool one because it landed right on top of the camera, so it was like perfect,
wow.
you know, boom, 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 and I landed on the camera.
What was the sin? What film or
It was
show?
for America's Most Wanted.
Wow.
Oh,
I've done several America's Most
that was
Wanted.
you.
Double on guys and stuff, and then just car jumps and car crashes or high speed.
Do you prefer the car stunts as opposed to fire or explosions or water?
You know
Or do
what,
you have
man?
do you have a favorite, or is it all good?
It's all good, but I mean, I like doing vehicle stuff because you feel more safe.
Sure.
If you will, I mean, but I've done stair falls, high falls, gone through windows, just about everything. I haven't, except to do a cannon. I haven't done a cannon yet.
Is there a cannon in your future?
I hope so. I hope so.
We have to get this man a cannon.
The only way I'm going to get a chance to do a cannon is if I get the coordinating the movie because everybody wants to do a cannon.
Really?
It pays very well, and I think they're up to like $12,000 to $14,000
Whoa.
to do a cannon roll.
Okay, I want to do a cannon. Yeah. Okay, sure.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Like on this movie Snitch I was talking about earlier, there was the guy does a cannon into a dump truck. The other guy does a pipe ramp off of the overpass. He rolled like 7 or 8 times, beautiful. And then the other guy was a cable with a big explosion, and then I'm the one that shoots out his tires and fighting him. We're going over this bridge that's 85 feet, and he's hitting me into the K-rail. I'm hitting him. We're going over this thing, and then finally I just shoot him, and that makes him flip his tractor trailer, which was a big cannon. And it looked very beautiful. It was a great job. And
Jay, what about your children? Would you encourage them to do what you're doing?
yeah, actually,
Really?
I've hired them to do some stuff. My daughter just did a job with me. She wants to do stunts and acting, but I told her she needs to finish college.
First.
I'm not going to, and I of course I pay for it, but I told her I don't want you to not go to college because when I was growing up, I grew up poor. We didn't have, I couldn't go to college, and I always said that my kids will go to college no matter what I got to do. So my oldest daughter graduated from college with Jacqueline with a wildlife biology degree, and she's just going to start working for the Department of Natural Resources in April, thank God. And because she really deserves it. She's a very smart girl, but she's done stunts with me too and other things. One of the jobs, I got her as a stunt coordinator because I was directing second unit on this little thing, and I got her to be the stunt coordinator doubling this girl, and she loved it, but she needed to go to college, so now she wants to do her thing. My other daughter, Jamie, she wants to do stunts and acting. She worked for Red Bull, and she loves extreme sports, and I've never denied her. You know what I mean? Because I want my kids to do the best they can. And I've never pushed her, but I've never denied her either. So if I can help her do something, I wouldn't put her in to do a car, a pipe ramp or anything like that, but I would put her to do some driving. We did a 45 mile an hour head-on near miss with my daughter in this one job I did, and everybody was nervous. And I told her, I said, look, Jamie, listen to Dad, okay? I love you. If you listen to me, this is gonna look really, really good. You just gotta listen to me. And she said, Dad, I'm listening to you. I said, okay, we're gonna do this, and that, and this and that, and then boom, we did it one take. It was like, the director was like, oh my God, I can't believe it.
Were you both doubling for somebody?
No, she was playing a part, and the guy that was supposed to drive that car, I didn't feel like he could. I'm not gonna have him do a head-on with my daughter. I said, here, I'll do it. I'll drive it. So,
Talking about the next generation and about time, how have stunts and stunt coordination, how has it changed since '79 to now? I mean, because technology has come so far, how has the stunt world kept up with it?
well, it's funny that not haha funny, but it's funny that since when I started, you had to pay a lot of dues. I feel now that the younger generation getting in isn't paying the dues that guys like myself and my era did. You got to pay dues. Some of these young guys are like so talented with their martial arts or whatever, that they're like all of a sudden they just skate right in, and I'm like, wow,
They
what a
come in
lucky.
more prepared, is that what you're saying?
No, it's just they just got, I guess, more lucky.
What do you mean by pay your dues, though?
Pay
Get
your dues is like,
experience?
you go, you work out, you go to this audition, you go meet this person, you go here, you help, like you go to the set, you help guys move pads around just to help there and just to fit in and stuff.
It's like being an extra as an actor. You work your way up to one-liners and then fight because you've paid
Well,
your
no, with
dues
this, I'm
doing
talking
that.
about, like,
I've been trying
helping-
to explain it to the panel and to our audience what you meant. It wasn't monetary dues.
No,
it was
no,
a
no.
matter of getting out there and working your way up till you cut.
Working your way
And
up.
how do they not work their way up? As you said, they're luckier?
Well, the thing is that, here's myself, I'm a veteran stuntman, and there's, 3,000 other veteran stunt guys, and then now the new generation is
Yeah.
coming in, that, the guy wants to do a stair fall, hey, he better do a stair fall like I used to do it. You want to do a car hit, you better do a car hit like I used to do it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these guys say, oh, we're going to do a flat back. Like when we were doing G.I. Joe, all these young guys are doing these flat backs. Flat back is you take a bullet hit and you go straight up in the air and fall back on your back, okay? That don't look that good on the film because it doesn't see it. It just sees you do this. The film sees you, the way I do it sideways. I'll do a sidewinder and flip sideways. When we were doing G.I. Joe, the 2 or 3 guys did the flat backs and I did the sidewinder, and I knew I did good because it hurt. and then afterwards, the Rock came over to me and we were sitting there going, whoa, we're just getting our thoughts, and he came up to me and he goes, nice job. And he kept walking, and the other guys looked at me and said, yeah, he didn't say nothing to me. I'm like, you did the flat backs.
One thing that you've probably got a great deal of perspective on is you moved to Louisiana, you said, for a while, and you've just recently moved back, correct?
Right.
Do you see a change in the Florida, the opportunities in Florida filmmaking for stuntmen, actors, performers, grips, anybody? Do you see any kind of change in the last couple of 3-4 years?
Yeah,
The
the thing about that is that a lot of people left Florida because of the incentive. I don't understand what happens in Tallahassee or what these senators and Congress people see. They're obviously not seeing what we're seeing. I see the film business in Florida. We got the best weather in the world, number one, the best weather. Great crews, great locations, everything we need down here. All we need is a tax incentive like Louisiana and Georgia.
That's why films are being done there and why they're not here. In one sentence, it's true. There's tax incentive.
By getting a tax incentive for this state, it's going to give a lot of people a lot of work.
Yeah, it costs them too much money.
Look
They
at the money
can't
that every
afford-
time there's a episodic TV show that shot her or a film, the money that just keeps coming in, not only because of the film industry, but because of all the people that it brings in, plus the advertising for the
Restaurants,
yeah.
cars. I mean,
It
We need
trickles
it.
out. Always
It used
does.
to be. it used to be great. You asked me as an
Yeah.
actor, how is it now to work? I said, what work?
Well, it comes in peaks and valleys. A couple of years back, we had, the Glades and Burn Notice, and it seemed like it was coming back again, and now it's kind of trickling out again.
Yeah, they were here a good number of years, but that's a good example. Charlie's Angels was in and out. Magic City, there, but unfortunately they're not.
I know.
ongoing.
It hasn't
But
kind
you
of
do
stuck.
a lot of commercials.
Yes, I have.
And when I was reading about your commercials, it just brought to mind Pepsi, those very dangerous things. And we get just speaking to you now gives such a tremendous respect for what you're doing. What happens is we see so many fires. We say, oh look, there's a fire.
We take it for
Wow.
granted. She's right.
There's a lot
Yeah.
of talented stunt people, and they're just, they're lucky. That's in this business is luck, and you got to have a little bit of talent, but a lot of luck.
And I have to say, you've done a really great job today in giving us insight into what it's like to be a stuntman. And thank you for your talent and your luck and your charm.
Education.
You've been an absolute delight. Thank
Isn't
you
it
for
just-
being here.
Hey, praise God.
There you go. There you
That's all I
go.
got to say.
Thank you all so much for joining us. It really was a lot of fun tonight. There's so much going on in South Florida, and if you want to know where it's going on, go to floridatheateronstage.com. You'll find out anything you need to know to explore the world of arts here in South Florida. Thank you so much for joining us. I want to thank my incredible panel and our great, great special guests.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Join us again. Take care.